Hey everyone, it's James of geometriccharts.com. About 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They got the 4-hour chart of Bitcoin, BTC, USD on the Bitfinex exchange. First of all, the video is not investment advice. Second of all, it's probably going to be a pretty short video because there's not too much else to update. We literally have not gone anywhere over the past week in Bitcoin. We're still, again, reacting to the negative slopes let me just keep it up real quick. We're still reacting to the negative slopes momentum-wise. We've literally been doing this since the backside of 20,000. It has not ended. Again, every single time there's a pump, it's always the bottom. You get all the talking heads. You get the people on social media blasting it up that it's going to go straight to the moon. You got to put everything you own in it, etc. But Bitcoin is trying to chop higher, and momentum is slowly dwindling. Why it does that? It doesn't mean that it's the end of the run, but it's definitely there's definitely a caution sign going off at this level, especially since sentiment has stayed so bullish and the longs have stayed. I mean, there's a big gap between the long and short, and there has been for quite some time now, to where a majority of the market has stayed in the long position. And if there's a lot of people staying long and the sentiment is extremely bullish and everyone can only see upward, and that's just basic human nature, right? You look at these charts and you see price going up and everyone can only extrapolate this. No one, or not no one, but very few people can think of something like this happening in the market, thinking that, you know what, the only thing that grows to the sky are trees, and like I like to say, even they never make it. So the point is that while there still could be more room to the upside in this market, we've literally every single rally barely produced enough momentum to break the longer term bearish lines on these momentum indicators. So showing that every rally is very feeble, meaning that outside of the individuals, whether it's one, multiple entities, I don't know, outside of the pump being created, there's no sustained buyers coming in. So it's like they're pumping it up, they're hyping it up, they got their marketing team out there, and they're like, this is the best thing to buy at $4,000. And they're going door to door and they're knocking on it and they're beating on it and they're hyping it up, and they're like, you don't understand, this thing's going to go to the moon, you're going to become mega rich, all your dreams are going to come true, blah, blah, blah. But literally, almost every single home they go to is slamming the doors, and the buying base is shrinking at the same time, like momentum-wise. Like they're not coming in as hot as they would like them to. So it's getting tough to find buyers out there. Essentially, what I believe are suckers into these pump and dump schemes. But the point is that if Bitcoin can break above, I've talked about this multiple times, 4,400. I even tell my subscribers, I really think that's a critical point for Bitcoin to break above and stay above. If they can do that, if the market, not if they, but if the market can stay above that range trading, I think we could finally start to break off some shackles. But it needs to be sustained price movement. It can't just be a straight spike through and a spike right back down like we've seen in Bitcoin time and time again during each of these tops. Now, I think the market is in a pretty good area to where we do have like this longer term downtrend line right here. That's been going all through 6,000. I don't know what pressure, I don't know how price is going to react to it. It's not a line I would personally trade off of, but I do think it could be the beginning of breaking through this area. But instead, what I think is going to happen is that Bitcoin, and like I've said in some of my prior videos, that we're just going to spend more time element, like stretching to the right of the stretching to the right into time and space, basically dragging price out in a very similar fashion to 6,000, where it kept the market in continuously guessing what was going to happen. A lot of people stayed very bullish on the market. Again, the same exact slope that we had, I've pointed out in my prior videos, but just some basic simple things, right? Just the simple slope that we had here, we also have here as well. And I don't think that's by coincidence. I think it's by design. I definitely think this market is 100% managed, just like I believe the stock market is, just like I believe commodities are, just like I believe fiat is. They're all managed. Anyone I've ever learned from, anyone that's done very big trading, has always alluded to that fact that yes, there are whales, and those whales dictate the market, aka markets managed, right? This is not retail trader movement. Very little of it is retail traders. The individuals who watch these videos, the individuals that are on social media, they don't have the buying power to influence this market. This is big entities, whether it's like founders, whether it's other people that have just accumulated an insane amount. We're talking billions of dollars. Those are the individuals or entities that are moving these markets around, that have the power to really jumpstart these pumps and jumpstart the dumps as well too. So anyways, the 4,400 area, I think that's a critical point for Bitcoin to get above. If it can't stay above that range, then we are going to have some problems in this market, as I think we'll just be basically shot into the horizontal direction, chopping around very similar to 6,000. Now, the downtrend line, and the reason why I was bringing that up is because if we do break through that, that could potentially create a little bit of a rally from that area, making everyone feel super confident that that's it. We're breaking through a downtrend line. The market's going to go to the moon, blah, blah, blah. This leads to a perfect trap in this area, because I do believe I've seen some other charts out there where people have put the same line there. I mean, it's super simple to see, but just within this time frame, breaking through it could produce a move very similar to like this was. And I don't think it's going to be a sustained move. I think what will happen is that we might break through it. It could lead to a trap. I don't think we have the strength to get and stay above 4,400 yet in this market. And then best case scenario, throw the market more sideways, chopping and thrashing around very similar to 6,000 before we progress lower. Worst case scenario is this market keeps pumping, staying essentially under this bearish divergence, and then collapsing out, very similar to like what happened in the stock market toward the tail end of last year. The stock market had months of bearish divergence, and then what happened is the market fell through like a bowling ball through a wet paper towel, and all everyone could see was up, 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 up. That's all everyone could see. The market dumps out. Everyone's talking about recession, the end of the U.S. Basically, we're all going to be extremely poor and blah, blah, blah. You know, it got super, super bearish. But we went from one extreme of super bullish to the other extreme of super bearish, and now look at the move that the market has made. It's made a massive, massive run, and that's one thing that I'm glad my subscribers and I have been able to take advantage of, was that massive rebound in that market. And now the market's, I believe, due for a corrective move. But anyways, the point is that back to Bitcoin, is that Bitcoin, I think, could be, not that I think it could be, I think it is in that same sentiment, to where everyone is extrapolating basically the blue dotted line, and that's it. Or not everyone, but a majority. I shouldn't say everyone, because there's no way in the world everyone is on the same page. But I think a majority, a bulk of the people out there are extrapolating the data very similar to that blue dotted line. And that was the same thing that basically formed every single time in Bitcoin. I mean, even from here, even after this dump, when we finally settled in right under sub 6,000 in Bitfinex, again, everyone started extrapolating that. They're like, well, it's on an uptrend, right? It's making higher lows, so I have to assume that the market can only go up. And that's kind of like where we're at, and literally the same exact thing is happening. So I think it's a little crazy to go out there and start professing that this is the bottom, and that this market is going to continue rising, and we're going to see 20,000 and 100,000 and 740,000, etc., without getting through some real critical areas. So it will be interesting to see if Bitcoin can hold here and break through the downtrend line. and what happens beyond that, because I do think there's going to be a trap in this zone for long traders, especially since the bullish sentiment is so high in this market. So anyways, I try to shoot for a short video. I'm already at 10 minutes. I did not mean to talk this long, but I'm just trying to lay it all out there as best as I possibly can, because again, these videos are not meant to reach maybe they reach 1,000 people. They're not meant to reach thousands of people. They're never going to do that. I'm not into the clickbait crap, and I'm not here to hype it up. I'm just here to discuss what I see in this market. And then not only that, but I cross-reference it to over a decade of trading plus other markets that I follow religiously, especially the stock market and commodities. And I've seen a lot of this happen. And again, this dying momentum is not easy to shake off. This has been going on since the backside of 20,000. And look at how many hopes and dreams have been annihilated since then. And it seems like this market, I've never seen this in my entire life, to where the market is like, has amnesia and forgets about all of this crap in the back. And I think just using simple lines and showing the energy and the frequency that price is reacting to. Like, what's the chance of having the same identical slope? You know, what's the chances of that? Like, literally, it's like having the same, or I grabbed it from the wrong point. But anyways, it's like the same thumbprint. You know, the same fingerprint. It's like there's no one else out there that has the same fingerprint but you. So to me, it's showing that this has been organized. And if the same, you know, the same sentiment was there and everyone was like super bullish and the same thing's happening here, it's like, all right, well, you know what? We should probably be really cautious about this area. You can still play it from the long side, but if all these things are coming together and it's all starting to look the same and we haven't shaken off that nasty diverging momentum, you know, it just I can't express it enough to be cautious in this market. Some of these alts have made some very big moves, and they still have bearish divergence, is what I call when momentum starts to diverge from the way price is going. So price is going up, momentum's going down. Momentum typically wins that unless there's some magical unicorn ride in the asset, which is very, very rare. I mean, you might as well get a lotto ticket at that point, but momentum typically wins. Momentum is showing you what is happening in that marketplace. And if less and less people are showing up, and I mean, that tells you that your asset is priced too high. Your asset has to come down. So just very, very simplistic. Again, I don't need 24 indicators on the chart to show you that. It's just very simplistic analysis of what is going on in a marketplace, and that's all the chart depicts, is that marketplace. So anyways, I did not mean to make this a long video. I'm really sorry. I appreciate everyone's time. I'm just hoping I kind of lay this out there as best as possible for everyone, and to get everyone on the same page. And I really appreciate your time, and I hope everybody has a great day, a great weekend. I'll talk to everybody on Monday, and take it easy.